Roll on, boys. What y'all waiting on? Y'all wait on me. You backing up.
All right, so pros. Go ahead.
I was just going to say my pro is the fact that the NWA is doing the Crockett Cup.
That's a huge pro. That is a really good pro to have.
Man, I love the Crockett Cup. Back in the day, I remember watching that, and if I remember correctly, it was an all-day thing, wasn't it? Or wasn't it like it was a multi-day event, right?
It was a 2-day event. I'm pretty sure it was a 2-day event back in the day.
Man, I hope they run it exactly like that. A 2-day event. I'm talking the big 6 foot, 7 foot trophy to the winners, the whole 9 yards, man. I can't wait to see something like that. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really awesome. I think that it could be a really cool thing to bring back. I'm not sure if I want him to do a 2-day thing. I mean, yes, it'd be cool, and yes, it'd be nostalgic. But I'm also understanding that Billy Corgan's trying to do something really special here, and doing a 2-day event, it could be really hard for a brand new company like that. Even though NWA is the oldest company in the world, but it's not the oldest company in the world with Billy Corgan. So if he pulls it together in one day, I'll be just as proud of him as if he does 2 days.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it for a couple of days, Billy. No offense, man, but I love my wrestling. Contrary to what Ben Cliff's saying in the chat there, he says I don't like to talk about wrestling. That's not true. I love wrestling, but there's a problem. There's so much wrestling I can't get to it all already, so I can only imagine. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw out one of my pros before somebody steals it. Jim Ross catches a lot of shit about not knowing people's names and whatever. But if you guys didn't hear his call last night saying, "For the love of God, stay away from the Dippin' Dots," if you guys didn't love that shit, you're an idiot. Because that was great.
It was good.
Jim Ross is the man.
He's going to be a sponsor
honestly,
for him now.
Right? Jim Ross,
honestly,
Dippin' Dots hot sauce.
Yep.
I can give you a pro right now. AEW period. Every single build up to every single match on this Revolution card is incredible, and I've never even expected something this great to come out of Revolution when they first announced it. But man, Revolution is. I'm super excited for it.
Did it start out kind of looking like just a B pay-per-view at first?
Well, no, I just expected the same thing that we've got every time from them, which hasn't been a bad pay-per-view, but it's just been a solid, it's a solid pay-per-view. This one looks like it is the most solid pay-per-view we've seen in 10 years.
That's a bold statement, my friend.
I think he's right.
I mean, I'm excited about it. I mean, top to bottom.
What I love so much about AEW, and people have missed it because it's kind of been taken to the back, if you will, but it's just the build of characters and storylines. There are so many characters on that show that I'm vested in. Sammy Guevara, even though he gets his ass kicked all the time, I love to see what he's going to do next. Even Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt, I'm a fan of those guys now. Marco Stunt, I'm like, I can't wait to see his little ass get whipped. But then he does something, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, little buddy, good job. I mean, there's just so much.
I'm not into Marco Stunt, and I don't think anyone will ever make me get into Marco Stunt, but Sammy Guevara is like one of my favorite wrestlers right now in the world.
Hey,
I love Sammy Guevara.
Steve New says that he's going to blow everyone's mind with his pro, so I'm excited to see that. Big Cliff says his pro is Tyson Fury knocking Deontay Wilder on his ass multiple times, giving him a lesson in how to box. Then Deontay Wilder blaming his outfit. He walked out to the ring and saying it was too heavy. Absolute clown. Look, man, it's a wrestling show, bro. We ain't worried about no boxing. We know that shit's fake anyway.
Tyson Fury's a wrestler, though.
Yeah, he's definitely.
That boxing shit's fake. We know that ain't real. We ain't gonna talk about that. We talk about wrestling.
Right. Well, hey, but Tyson Fury, here's another pro of mine this week. Tyson Fury done something way cool. He took his entire purse, his entire winnings from that fight, and donated it, man. And I thought that was really cool of him, because he didn't have to do that, and just in one instance, I just found out that I have a new favorite boxer, and I haven't had a favorite boxer. I never liked Mayweather, but he was a good fighter.
He was
But
entertaining.
so,
He was entertaining.
yeah, he was definitely entertaining for sure. But yeah, that's how long it's been since I've actually paid attention to the actual boxing
Oh man,
world.
Well, oh, wait.
hold on a second. We just had a sighting here on the Royal Ramble. Hello, what is up, Mister Stephen P. New?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How are you all?
Man, I'm good,
What's
brother. It's
up?
WrestleMania season. There's so much going on. There's like 15 shows this weekend. There was one today. I'm Jack, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just driving myself over to Martinsburg, West Virginia for a little work tomorrow, and just wanted to get in on the pros and cons because, as I stated in the chat box there, I think my pro this week is going to blow people's minds. I wish Derek Jones was there to listen to my pro this
Would he be
week.
proud?
He would be proud. And I'm going to take you to task, John Covey Cole.
Uh-oh.
If I've got enough time to watch ROH, Impact, NXT, AEW, Raw, and SmackDown, I'm watching everything except Glow right now, then you've got enough time to catch up on wrestling.
Well, you're right, but Impact sucks, and
No, it doesn't.
I
And
tried
because
watching
both
some of it earlier today, actually.
my
Dude.
my pro and my con come from Impact this week, John.
Okay.
If I may.
Sure.
It's going to blow your mind. You ain't going to believe it when the words come out of my mouth. My pro this week, Joey Ryan.
What? You talking about his super
I'm
penis?
not talking about his super penis.
What about old girl's super booty?
I'm not. Yes. They have finally found an angle that gets me interested in Joey Ryan. And that is a good cuckold angle.
Okay, so let me
Now,
help me out real quick, Steve, because I'm not real familiar with the product. I went to their YouTube channel earlier, and I was going to see what was happening, and they had a highlight reel. From what I gathered, RVD and old girl are an item, and Joey Ryan is trying to slide in there and have a threesome. Is that what's going on?
Well, no, I don't know that he wants a threesome.
Okay.
You know, I don't think he's wanting teabagged by Rob Van Dam, if you will. But so this week, Rob Van Dam and Dogga are having a good match, and it was a good wrestling match.
Yeah, I seen that when RVD walked out because his girl left.
Yeah,
I seen that.
Yeah, so Katie Forbes is on her phone, and she's engaged in Twitter, and, you know, people are running them down and that kind of stuff. She walks out. Rob Van Dam walks out. Count out. Dogga wins. And I was kind of like, you know, that sucks. So cut to the back. There's Joey Ryan, and Joey Ryan is like, I've got the super penis, she's got the super ass, and Rob Van Dam, you're the superstar. And Katie Forbes is just got this look on her face like she could eat Joey Ryan like a bowl of ice cream. So I'm telling you.
You don't think it's all the plastic surgery she's had? What's going on there?
Well, that very well could be. So, you know, and Joey Ryan actually is setting the angle up where it's the three of them and the kind of freaks that they are versus the wrestling fans and the whole rest of the world. And whereas they had been enemies before, they now have this common interest. I tell you, it's better storytelling than anything that's on WWE TV.
Well, I'm going to cut you
now,
off there
so-
because there's actually something that I'm really excited about on WWE TV right now. And that's a gentleman by the name of Angel Garza. He come out of nowhere for me. I didn't watch him in 205 or NXT, whatever he was in. But I'm really intrigued by this guy, and I think he's going to be a star if they stick with him.
I don't know what kind of storylines they're developing for him and Humberto Carrillo and the rest of those guys, but you're right, John. I think that's going to be good. But anyway, words I never thought would come out of my mouth, and that is Joey Ryan is my pro of the week.
I'm gonna have
don't
to
like the dick flip.
For his,
I'm gonna have to.
But
for
if
his-
he cuckles Rob Van Dam and gets his ass whooped for it, I'm going to enjoy that.
I'm going to have to get a soundbite of that and send it to Corny. He's going to be disappointed in you, Steve.
Steve, I swear, for as long as I've known you, you have never, ever once put Joey Ryan over for anything.
And
So that
I don't
that
know
that's
who's responsible for the storytelling, but all I know, storytelling is sorely lacking in the professional wrestling industry these days. And if they build this and make them a tag team, and then Joey Ryan cuckolds Rob Van Dam, and that turns into a heated feud, that's money. Right?
What about
I'm
this,
telling you,
Steve?
that's money.
What about this? What if RVD ends up leaving Forbes magazine or whatever her name is for Joey Ryan? That makes it even more interesting.
I'll quit being a wrestling fan altogether if Rob Van Dam leaves Katie Forbes for Joey Ryan's super penis. I'm done with all of it. I'm gonna move into a cave somewhere.
All right, Champ, what do you think? Do you agree with Steve? You've been watching Impact?
I haven't been watching Impact.
Well, what you got going on here that you like, man? You ain't said much.
I just watch AEW.
Okay, what do you like? What's really standing out in your mind right now?
Well, he stole my. It's just the build for the pay-per-view. I mean, most shows now don't really build stuff very much, but they built that whole episode for the card in that episode on yesterday.
The last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean,
they brought it home last night.
Let's put some salt and pepper on that and talk about the fact that what Chris Jericho's doing is incredible, and that watching him and Moxley is like watching The Rock and Steve Austin. Yes. It is fantastic what he's doing.
On a second,
that is some big shoes to fill there, sir.
Hey, but I don't see anybody else doing it. I don't see anybody else even coming close, but they are.
I'm really enjoying it, but I don't know if it's on that level yet, man.
Man, I love this build.
What do you think, Steve? Am I crazy, or is Brian on the right track here?
No, it's not Rock and Austin in 2000, 2001 good, but Brian's right. It's better than anything you've seen in the last 10 or 12 years.
I tell you what, we didn't even talk about it yet, and I don't know how because it was so amazing. How about the Omega and Pac match, the Iron Man match?
And it opened the show.
I thought that was incredible.
I mean, I don't know if it needed to be what it was, but it was good. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to anybody.
It was very good.
You missed it, Steve. I don't know if you was in the chat yet, but did you notice Jim Ross putting over Dippin' Dots last night?
That ought to get Tony Khan some of his money back right there. He needs to go out and solicit Dippin' Dots as a corporate sponsor there.
Hey, Derek Jones is in the chat here. He says, anyone ever notice how Billy and Derek have never been on the show at the same time? Has to be the same person in disguise.
Well, they're plotting to beat you upside the head with a kendo stick.
I'm not even in the chat, though, Steve. What's their motive? I don't get it.
I don't know what their motive is either. Hey, I am going to do my con, if I may, a little bit out of time and premature, John, and then you
Normally, Steve, I'd say no, but you're Stephen P.
News,
so.
Well, that's exactly right. Which, by the way, Grover and friends filed a motion to dismiss our lawsuit. It was covered by WrestleZone, and so business is picking up in the Jim Cornette lawsuit. And we're going to file our response in an amended lawsuit. And I can't wait to talk more about that with you guys. But anyway, since you guys don't watch Impact anyway, my con, I'm just telling you guys to go and seek it out. It sounds like John has been trying to look on YouTube for some other content and that kind of stuff anyway. Do you remember the pure unadulterated crap that AEW got a few weeks ago around the first of the year when the Dark Order guy was punching the mat beside Dustin's head?
Are you talking about the old girl that was beating Jordan Grace's ass? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
That was bad, too.
So at the end of the it was Ace Austin versus Tessa Blanchard for the X Division Championship. That's what Scotty D'Amore booked for the main event of this week's Impact.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ace Austin versus Tessa for the X Division Championship. Out comes Taya Valkyrie to interfere in the match, costs Tessa the X Division Championship. So help me to God, she was throwing sledgehammers, and you could hear it slapping the mat. It made the Dark Order spot look like The Rock and Austin. Honest to God, it was the worst thing that I may have ever seen in the sport of professional wrestling was Ty Valkyrie and those sledgehammer shots 3 feet above Tessa's head. It was just awful. So I encourage everybody to go out and take a look at that. It was just absolutely awful. But anyway,
how crazy is it, Steve? I never watched Impact, but for some reason today, I looked it up on YouTube and I seen both spots you're talking about. And you're right, that was stupid. My first thought was, is she supposed to be hitting her in the ear? What's going on right now?
I mean, it was so far off, I had to rewind it. And I was like, is she trying to scare her?
I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you hard.
You know, is she trying to make her take a shit right there in the middle of the ring? You know, I thought, I have no idea. It was awful. It was just awful.
Check it out for sure, guys.
All right. Well, listen, John, I'm going to jump off here, listen to the rest of the show.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in, brother.
Tonight. And you're right. WrestleMania time, put over all these great local shows that we got up going on around here, the reunion in Round Town. And next week, before the ASW show in Madison, I have made arrangements where the enforcer, Arn Anderson, is going. You remember how we did the gimmick with Cornette last year to give Bobby Fulton the whatever? We're giving Arn Anderson a real recognition by the West Virginia legislature before he appears at the ASW show. So
very cool.
I'm all kind of excited about that. That the enforcer is coming down on the last day of the legislature to be recognized.
That is cool.
By the West Virginia legislature. Yeah, excited about that. So you guys have a great rest of the night. I'll listen to the shows I'm driving to Martinsburg. Ramble on.
Ramble on, brother.
Ramble on, man.
All right, guys, I did a switch up for our buddy Stephen P. New, but I stopped the clock, and I'm going to start it back, Brian. We got 6 minutes and 45 seconds to get our pros in. What else you got, boys?
Well, there's a pro right there.
What's that?
Jeremy Robinson. Right, the one up above it.
Oh, okay, up above it. He says, AEW pay-per-views actually get me excited about watching pay-per-views. It's actually not pay-per-views. It's pay-per-view.
But we get his point.
Pay-per-views. I like rock views myself. Nah, I'm messing with you, Jeremy. I haven't had that feeling in years. You're right, man. I'm cheap. I'm probably not going to pay the $39.99 is what they should charge. How much is it? Anybody know?
No
With
idea.
all the live ones. I don't know.
Who went to the live shows? I don't know how much the pay-per-views cost. Yeah.
It's cheaper that way.
Right. That adds up.
I got you a pro here.
What
What
you
about Tito Ortiz being at the WWE Performance Center? I think that is so long overdue.
The tag team?
Yeah,
the tag team
way
in,
long overdue.
The Inner Circle? Was that the Performance Center?
Tito Ortiz, the MMA fighter, the Huntington Beach bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
The
that was
MMA
one of
fighter
our,
who got suspended for...
That was one of our weekly top 3 last week, Brian. You'd have known if he was here.
Well, either way.
Probably
either
about
way.
12 to 15 years too late.
Yeah.
It could still be good. Don't get me wrong. But
and he's still younger than the
it's
world
late.
champion.
Did you hear about the news today that they, for some reason, they switched his victory over Alberto Del Rio in MMA to no contest?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And they didn't give a reason why.
Huh.
It was just switched to no contest, so he no longer defeated Alberto Del Rio.
I've
It
done
is
seen
now a no
Devin Carnage
contest.
mention this 2 or 3 times during the show. Watch GCW. What is GCW? Somebody smart me up. Global
GCW?
Championship Wrestling?
That's what I would guess. I doubt it's Greek.
I think that's Georgia Championship Wrestling. I didn't know. Devin actually watched that. It could be something else.
Kenny Dunn says
I have
the
no-
Huntington Beach old guy, Santana Ortiz.
It's Tito Ortiz.
I have a pro, and it is Stephen P. New, the Mr. Dirt Sheet, man. Every time I look at a dirt sheet, he's somewhere in there. Somewhere in there.
How about I don't know if this does anything for you guys. Me personally, it doesn't do anything for me, but for the business as a whole, it's good. John Cena's going to be back tomorrow night, so
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
it is. Evil
I
Uno.
always miss him
I'm
when
sure
he's
you
gone.
guys caught it last night. Those of you that watched it, Evil Uno saying at Revolution, SCU will find out that they are obsolete. That Matt Hardy
Yes.
turn, you know what I mean? We actually put a poll out on Twitter and Facebook this week to ask the fans where they thought Matt Hardy was going to end up, if he was going to stay with WWE, or if he was going to go to NXT, AEW, or somewhere else. And it was a toss-up. It was 50% to AEW, 50% said he was going to stay and go to NXT. So the crowd don't know what they're doing. And if you guys remember, one of the best works was when the Hardys come back to the WWE a couple years back, Brian. I know you remember that night because you was there.
I was.
It's Workus, man. I don't know where he's going. I'd like to see him, show up whenever Orton and Edge get into it at WrestleMania and take Edge out and join Orton.
No, stay away from that. Stay away from that. Just let it happen. Just let Randy Orton and Edge happen. Keep Matt Hardy out of it. You're not going to do anything cool with Matt Hardy. Let him go.
I also think that Matt Hardy should milk this for as long as possible and build that anticipation of where is he going? What is he doing? That way he just builds more anticipation for his new character that he's about to unleash upon the world.
My problem is the WWE. I know they're stupid about a lot of things, but they're smart about things as well. And I don't know for the life of me why they let Moxley go the way they did. We'll probably find out 20, 30 years from now when Bruce Pritchard Jr. has a podcast. He'll tell us all about it. But, even with the send-off of Matt Hardy, even though he did the traditional business way and he put Randy Orton over going out, he's got so much sympathy on him right now, so much babyface heat or whatever you want to call it on him right now. He's going to be made wherever he goes.
Devin Carnage was talking about Georgia Championship Wrestling. Moxie will be working there Mania weekend.
Okay, check him out. Yeah, find me a stream, Devin. Send it to me, man. I'd love to check it out.
Jeremy Robinson brings up a good point in the comment section where he says that what do you think of the Hardys NXT offer? And that is something that could happen. You never know. Vince does have the money to make Hardy stay.
That's true. And Jeff's still going to be there regardless for a little while.
I'm not sure how much time we have left on the pros, but I got to throw in one more.
We got a minute.
One more. The biggest pro that I seen all week that was not in-ring related was the AEW action figures. Did you guys see those?
That's sweet.
They look they look amazing. I was so worried when they said it was the Fortnite action figure guy that was putting them together, or the company that does Fortnite's action figures. But I was afraid they were going to be too short. But they made them height-oriented for the WWE figures. They look great. They have lots of accessories. I'm an action figure mark, and those action figures are sweet.
Billy, real quick, Devin Carnage says you're wrong. It's Game Changer Wrestling, not Georgia.
Game changer.
And Steve News says, Billy, don't care what the dirt sheets are talking, good or bad, as long as they're talking about me. That's right, Steve.
Businessman.
I'm going to have a hard time letting my children buy up these AEW figures because I want one of myself.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm going to have some boxed wrestling figures.
All right, that's it, guys. No more rambling there about that. We are done with our pros.